Do you notice there's a lot of people watching us?
I like it. I hope they all watch and enjoy it. I'm Timmy.
I'm Justin.
I'm Nathan.
And this is Three Old Tech Dudes.
I don't have a comment.
Well, you know, it's been a long time coming, but I think it's time to let Little Chief onto the channel. He's been a patient chief, a very patient, wise chief.
He really has. I don't know if he's been wise.
He's got a lot of illnesses, though.
Little Chief is it's got some minor problems.
I'd count him major. Little Chief is
somewhere between severe and catastrophic would probably be better.
Catastrophic's fair. Little Chief is a 1975 Williams electromechanical pinball machine. Among some of the last electromechanical pinball machines before the microprocessor era started in pinball, and they completely quit making this type of machine, and they had made them for 30, 40, 50 years.
They quit making them for a reason.
They sure did. You're going to find out.
No one wants to touch them.
Our main segment this week is actually a video that was fully edited in late 2019, and I held off ever finishing it for the channel. It's old enough that it's from the Blue TV intro days.
It is, isn't it? Wow, yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah, it really is, isn't it?
And never finished it because I was going to make a series, and I'm still going to make a series, but I realized we had shot a second video of me going through this thing, so I've sandwiched them together so you can see my progress with this pinball machine.
Yeah. Or lack thereof.
We'll get to that. So
we feel sorry for this.
With that in mind, to check out this pinball machine and the process I've been through with it so far. Okay, I just got my first pinball machine. It's a 1975 Williams Little Chief. What we've got going in the truck here. I'm gonna get it inside where I'm going to keep it for now and look at it a little bit more. Well, with a little work, I've got the main body in. Lost a little bit of the particle board on the back, or a lot. So the top would go on here. That's the back. Haven't really figured out where the power connects yet. We will figure all that out. Get the score, the head of it in here, because that's what you call that. Kind of do a first inspection here. Probably already said that. This is what the front looks like of the score, the back of it. And to connect it to this, there's these plugs down inside here. Like so. Oh, that's all I've figured out so far. Saw the power cord down in here. Definitely want to look inside before we attempt to power it up, but since I'm either ridiculous or crazy, I'll probably just give it a shot here in a minute. Golly. Ugh, that don't look good. These are the switches for the coin mechanism, I think. Yeah, okay. Cool. Mouse evidence here. Get a light out, maybe. There we go. Gotta look through the coin area here. See what, oh man, look at all this. That's awesome. Got a mouse nest there. Get that out of there. This is crazy. Oh, that's the weight of the tilt mechanism right there. See if you wiggle that and it touches, you go into tilt. Can't wiggle it. Shake the thing. Let's look at our fuse block here. We got 1, 2. All right, everything's still there. There's a wire missing on. Where's that go? Oh, I think it's on the bottom of a flipper. It is. Eesh. What's that all about? Probably had those replaced before. Click, click. All right. What was the total play counter? 5,441.10. Wow, if that's accurate anyway. I got some goobers in here. Yeah, yuck. Sticky stuff on it. We got that in there. That could be a problem. Get out of there. It looks like that ought to be out of there if I can get it. Otherwise, I don't see anything that says I can't just plug it in and try it. Just yet, anyway. And I pulled the power cord out of the back. It's not the best looking one I've ever seen. Especially this mess job where somebody's put a plug on the end. Should have had a 3-prong plug on it. I counted the pins on each of these plugs, and each one is different. Like in the pin count. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I think this one's, what is this one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That time is 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, that's 10. And this one's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I think, as long as I'm not a complete idiot, this one here's got a filled spot, so maybe that'll help. I may wait till I get service manual. I'm gonna look, see what's on the bottom of the scoreboard here and see if this is clear on how these plug in or not. Okay, so I've opened up the back of the score panel for the head of this thing, and look at all this mechanical wonder. My goodness. Everything's electromechanical in this thing. It's from 1975, so it's not overly surprising. Wow. Looks like our plugs plug into these areas here, so I don't think that'll be too hard to figure out here. We'll put it up there and see what happens, I guess. Okay, this is not really assembled, but gives you an idea what it looks like fully put together. Got this scooted back though because I don't have the bolts for the knob, so I'll be removing this before I leave, because it's just sitting back and I had to scoot it back more than it normally would be so it didn't tip forward because the glass is heavy. The plugs are pretty obvious. I haven't checked the service manual, but I'm going to real quick as to which way they went, both on how they were tied together here and that some have empty pins, and that was easy to match as well as the pin count. So I'm gonna pull that up online real quick and take a look, and then we're gonna do something crazy and just fire it up and see what happens. Well, I can't find anything that says I've done anything wrong, so in the words of old Darkwing Duck from my childhood, let's get dangerous. Well, that sounded like a problem, but we'll see. I heard a click, click, click. Ooh, but there's lights. Okay, something advanced but didn't continue to do so. Nothing's burning yet. We're not getting any action here. Don't have any there. Let's see what is making that noise here, maybe. Oh. Whatever this guy is. It smells a little warm. I think we're gonna pull the plug in case we burn. Okay, I got the lock bar loose. I managed to slide the glass out, as you can see over there on that table. Allow me to get a look inside. I'm still not getting anything different out of the machine, other than I did hit the eject there and it reset the see if I'll do it again. See there? So that's something. I mean, I don't think it's in a play mode right now, so but that seems to work regardless. So that's fun. This allows us to get in and look around, and the playfield's not too bad. So kidnap the ball out of here. I could use some polish. Yay, playing pinball. Not really. Oh. Of course, we're not properly angled here, I don't think. Oh, chink, 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 ding, ding, ding. Make mine, not drained. So basically the only thing that works right now on this thing is this part. So, yeah, cool, I guess. So, yeah, there's a lot of work to do here. Maybe it's minor, maybe everything in it is dead, who knows? Okay, I was wondering if we had any power in the backboard at all. I don't have any test tools with me. Then I discovered this. One of the chimes works. And if you go over here, some of the score wheels work. They're in little banks here. Okay. That makes sense. Cool. Oh, that's like a group of numbers in, so this be another digit, maybe. Yeah. I'm being crazy here. We're just trying whatever to see what happens. So nothing there. Nothing there. And ding ding. So we just have mechanical issues in various locations apparently. Does this little guy do anything? Guess not. He's not right there. This is probably not the wisest way to play with something like this, but you know, sometimes you gotta learn things hard way, I guess. As all the pinball wizards in the world freak out over everything I do. Ha ha ha. Sorry. Can get a flipper up to flip. Yep, we're gonna take this sucker all the way apart. That's all there is to it. Hey guys, we've gotten a lot further with Little Chief than the last video you saw. I've had at least one other opportunity to come down here and work on it. Unfortunately, we weren't really operating a camera at the time. Justin, Nathan, and I all looked at it after a ham club meeting down here, and we got some of the functions to work. A lot of the score wheels turn. It will try to go into reset if you hit the reset relay, which I'll show you here in a bit, but we're not yet working. It looked like at least one portion wasn't moving mechanically like it's supposed to, and there's green corrosion all over lots of the connectors and the like, so we got a little time here and we're going to work on it for a while, and you can follow our progress. I will say now, I'm a beginner at this, so I'm going to make mistakes. Sometimes our viewers will comment on things, well, you should have done this, or, you know, you got lucky because this happened. Yeah, well, I'm going to get lucky a lot with this thing. You can guarantee there's going to be some mistakes made. So try not to cringe and just hang out with us here and see what we can do. Okay, first off, we got to take the glass out. So we'll pop the front open here. Maybe. It's kind of difficult. It's not locked, it just sticks a lot. So remove the lock bar. So it needs a good cleaning, that's for sure. Now we can slide the glass out. It's in these channels. It's definitely not great, but it does slide out. Nice and new. Set this aside out of the way. Okay, you might have noticed here, I don't know, you can probably see it here, I think you can, there is some clean rubber in a few spots on this that we put on last time we were here, including the flipper, the bumpers here, I guess the flipper rubber. I'm sure there's a technical name for that. Something else you didn't see in the first clip, these guys almost are like the hood of a car. They're hinged, alright? So you have a little prop rod. So there's that. I didn't know how to get into it completely and was trying to go through the front here. Now we can get a look at the seedy underbelly of Little Chief. Or is it his innards? I don't know. Everything's mostly here. I don't know the history of this machine. It obviously was in public service, so at one point or another. Got my ham radio handheld over there, playing the repeater audio. This is called the score motor. It kind of drives the bus, setting the score and the like, you know, things like that. I'm going to put the head on it because it was one of these units when I last looked in it that was giving us trouble. But I want to get it powered up, and it's not light. Ugh. Make sure it's stable, because it is sturdy enough to sit on its own. I don't have a printout of the schematics. I have that on my laptop around the corner here. What I do have that is very necessary is the instruction manual, which is available online. I'll post a link here where I got it because I don't remember while I'm shooting the video here. But this is the complete original September 1975 owner's manual for this pinball machine. And it has lots of discussion and shows where the various adjustments are, but importantly, it tells us things like the sequence of operation in a general sense, you know, things we can use to begin tracing how it ought to work, and things such as how each of these internal components work, these fancy switching mechanisms that it has several of. And I think this will be key in trying to get Little Chief going again. Okay, our backboard is not wet. There, well, just got a poor connection there. I heard it pop. So now, let's see, Chief's got some blinker bulbs and most of the back is lit. So now we should be back in the state where we hit this wafer switch and we try to increment a credit. However, I don't believe the credit wheel, or the coin unit as it's called here, you can see, I don't believe it's actually doing what it's supposed to do. So I think that's where we're going to get started. Before we go further, I'll talk about the lock relay. I've read about this and seen YouTube videos. See how it's so much more discolored? That's because that relay gets a lot of time on one of these machines. It prevents people from putting extra coins in. Like if you put a coin in certain moments of the game, it will spit it back out to the coin returns if that is engaged. So anytime there is a game in play, that is engaged, so it stays on a lot. You can see how the ones next to it are not discolored from heat. Doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. Definitely doesn't help any. It could be bad. I haven't checked it. I'm going to show you the situation it gets in if you activate the reset relay. Okay, this is going to be nuts because it tries to reset, but there's a lot of things not working, and well, you'll see. Yeah, we got this running. We got score wheels that won't turn or continue turning. Actually, none of them are turning this time. Let's see what we got here. Here it is. Somebody's not incrementing. Alright, to stop this nonsense, we'll flip power off. And you'll see it comes back up. Originally all the numbers were spinning, now all the numbers aren't spinning. In fact, it must be poor connectivity again because the lights are off. So, see what we're going to go ahead and clean these connectors. Okay, I haven't even started cleaning. I went back and pushed on the same Jones plug that's goofy. This one here seems like it has poor connectivity. And the reset wheel that had numbers reset to 0 and it got the reset signal, which is something that it had not previously done. Manually activate this fella. Okay, now we'll get some numbers on these guys. And we're going to try to reset it again just because I'm curious. So we got 4,030 points. Okay, I'm going to hit the reset. Watch it. By golly, it's resetting. All those need cleaned. You saw how slow that number ran. That's another step in the right direction though. Okay, I've got my little sanding thing. I don't remember if this has a specific name. Found out about it via YouTube. We're just gonna, this is really meant for the contact switches. I'm going to go around each of these little pins on this particular Jones plug initially and try to see if we can just clean it up. It's got, the contacts are just so dirty on this guy. Try to clean the inside. I'm hoping to do that as well. Now I've got these reasonably polished up enough to where I think we're in better shape. I'm going to give it a shot and flip the switch. Get this guy plugged back in real good. Somebody tried to plug in really great before. Oh, there we go. I'm not anywhere near good enough on these. That's part of the problem. Get in there. They take considerably more force than I expected. Like I said, beginner. See what happens now, huh? Oh, look, we lit up immediately. That's good. Cool if it just worked. Well, it's not going to just work yet. We've got to set it up for free play. Okay, I got lucky a while back and found a website that showed the switch you need to bypass on a Little Chief. And this is actually from a Little Chief machine on the bonus game wheel, which is right there. So let's see if we can figure out this guy. Okay, Okay, there's the 2 springs like in the photo, so it should be simply jumpering this switch here. Okay, we've accomplished that, so I'm going to try the reset relay and get the lid open again, and we'll see what happens. I'm going to do the number trick again because I want to see it reset. I want to see it reset everything, in fact. Some of these are certainly better than others. How about you over here, player 1? That's the one that matters, isn't it? I highly doubt we'll use this in 4-player mode. Not gonna lie. For the first time I have seen ball in play 1 on. Not sure what that's all about. Still don't have flippers. Okay, I'm gonna manually whack the reset relay again. Where's my pen? Where's my pen? Here goes nothing. Number's not moving. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna try to get these all the way back around. There we go. Did we go back to 0? Yep, alright. See, I hit that and it started to move, the relay did. Looks like this one did too. I don't know what kicked that off. The idea is there's a switch on each of these, and when each wheel gets to 0, the relay process stops and the score motor stops turning. So, maybe that one just gave up. Huh. There will be a lot of time spent on these score wheels in the future. Alright, we're back in business there. Come on, camera. There. Just for giggles. See, we still don't have a credit. I don't know if that matters or not. Because it shows ball in play 1, but that could be something stuck. So I'm going to try the reset just for giggles. Huh. Okay. That's a dirty switch on that one. When I reset it, how does you hit player reset? Nothing. Give it a coin for giggles. Heck, I don't know, maybe it started. Okay, I've been tinkering for a while. What I determined is that the coin unit and the ball count unit, which are, this is the ball count unit, this is the coin unit. The ball count unit doesn't seem to increment properly, like a mechanical issue, although I can turn it by hand. And the reset unit, or the coin unit, does the same thing. Okay, the player unit disc. I popped this guy off. Let's see if I can find the... It's got a little notch deal on these little wipers. They're a little corroded, but not nearly as bad a shape as what you find in here. Yikes. Just looking at the pinouts, this seems to, the pinouts, the connections that is, this seems to involve a lot of important tasks. So, you know, we'll see what happens next. Look, there's Justin. Alright, so we're back. We've got back to this point in the video, and I've not worked any further on the machine other than to move it into storage. This would have been in January 2020.
Yeah.
I've
Got
a plan. There's so many things wrong with this machine that it's got a lot of hours on it. You can kind of tell by looking at it. It's lived a long life. The play counter's pretty high on it.
It's about $1 billion.
I only paid $120 for it or something. And it had sat, and the person I bought it from is a friend from my childhood.
I'm sorry, man.
Why? That's cheap for a busted pinball machine.
More than I'd pay.
Maybe. But it was
I'm
there.
I'm not.
So
Well, that's true. I'm not a pinball machine.
I've always wanted
guy.
one.
And that's okay. I've played pinball. I don't mind playing pinball. I'm just not.
I'm not a connoisseur.
So I've been studying this machine, and I've done all the electromechanical tricks that I can think of. Not all of it's caught on video. Tried to file all the points or all the contacts, and that's worked on a few things.
There are a lot of contacts.
But it's things like the credit wheel and the coin mech, the coin wheel thing for selecting how many players are up, that just are not going to work on this thing. Some of them might be missing springs and parts. I can't tell. So I've come up with another plan that I've not yet executed, and this is going to offend some of the pinball purists. But
you're going to Arduino this thing, aren't you?
Buckle up. I'm going to Arduino it. We're going to use FET transistors to drive the coils and change the LED lights out to program LED lighting. But I am going to replicate, to the best of my ability, the gameplay of the original Little Chief machine, literally based on videos of the working machine on other YouTube channels. There's only 3 or 4 out there, but they're complete enough that I think I can deduce the logic operation of the
So are we going to turn this thing into, we're going to remove the mechanical counters and put LEDs in there?
I've seen an example of this, but I'm actually planning on using a second Arduino to drive those score wheels.
Or are we going to put in little screens that simulate that?
No, we're going to, I'm going to do something I've not seen done, and I'm going to try, since the score wheels are operational enough to work with cleanup, we're going to drive at least 2 of them for the score and player counter and actually use them in the way they're intended with the switches and sensors to determine if they're reset to 0, for example. That's how they work it's one of the few things that do work on this thing. So, so look forward to that. This is a first in a series. It's probably going to be a while before you see the part 2, but, when it's done, it'll be under the video here in the description once we get that done. So that's something we're looking for, either winter 21 here or into 2022.
We'll put a link up here when it's done. But before then, it won't be there.
I wanted to get you guys introduced because Little Chief's been a part of the 3OTD lore for a long time. It's at least been mentioned once.
I remember when you found that thing. I got a pinball machine.
Cheap price. I thought is worth it for a shot because I can probably get that back out of it even now. But even for parts,
that's probably true.
Chief. So that's pretty much that. So stay tuned for that in the future. Right now, let's get into some comments from you, the viewer. It's time for Echoes from the Asylum. This week we hear from Raymond Dojitz. I can't say
Raymond
that right.
Got to say?
He commented on volunteering our IT skills to help start a new school.
Oh, yeah.
He writes, and this is looks like he's referencing actually the Echo segment from that episode, because he's talking about the disc platters in the
my big
NCR hard drive platter video. So here's a link to that video here, a card for that. He writes, my dad brought home one of those disc platters for my brother and I. We played with it.
Like a frisbee, probably.
If I can recall, we propped it up and put dominoes on them and made them fall through the center where they would go over the next piece of the domino track. And they are thick, 3 millimeters or so. I'd hate to be there if a disc pack exploded. Never seen an exploded CD either. You had mentioned that.
I have. It's rare.
I did chase after a CD that wasn't spun down from a 4X. It flew right up and out. My colleagues laughed. It was the master of a new version of our code I had burned for reproduction. On this new caddy loading 4X external SCSI burner, that saved so much time 4-speed would have back in the day.
So it's amazing, like, because we originally had like a 1X and then a 2X, and it was stunning the difference between that. And a 4X felt like it was more like about 100.
It's amazing how quickly they did the multiplied speed CD-ROM drives in the late 90s, because our family got a brand new IBM Aptiva Pentium 133 desktop.
Yep.
And it had a CD-ROM drive that said quad speed on the front.
Yep.
So 4X. And but I know within a year, I'll bet you 133 megahertz was the best-selling Pentium 1 processor, if I had to guess.
I had a 133.
I'll have to look that up. I bet everything.
75.
Yeah.
And it's terrible.
I knew an awful lot of people with the 133.
Did yours have the little screen on the front that said 133?
No, it was more styled like the compacts. So
I think one of my old ones down there does actually have.
But it's amazing. That one says 8X down there. It's amazing. It went from 1 speed or 2 speed to 32X by say 1999. They were easy. to get.
It took about the first time I'd seen
2 or 3 year period. They really started up in the advanced speed of them.
Oh yeah.
So.
It just started
Oh,
going
yeah.
up fast. Yeah, at one point it was like, it's a 32X. Up next week it's like a 40X. The next week it's 52. I think 52 is where they stopped.
That's about right.
But
yeah,
I think if I recall right, someone really calculated the actual possibility of that.
Yeah.
52X is like the edge of the disc is
by the
traveling
time you got-
just shy of Mach 1.
So yeah, by the time you got to that, they were getting the DVD stuff.
Yeah. So
Well, yeah, and by the time, and you're like, okay, 52X is cute, but is that real?
It's like just buy a hard drive.
Well, that's, and then drives
Yeah.
start dropping, and there's a lot of that.
Something else.
That's cool, though,
Yeah. Well, next up, we got a comment on the 8-bit computer shootout.
Oh, yeah.
One of our old heavy hitters from back in the day. It's funny we mentioned the Blue TV intro we used for the first year or so. This was the first video that used the intro we use now. So, and Penny Stream comments on that. Yeah, we should actually. Atari had the best overall basic, namely, you could write computer games with it to a higher standard with both color and sound without having to use machine code. That's actually true. I've written one.
Yeah.
It had a lot of commands very useful for operating the machine,
actually,
even though it executed more slowly.
The TRS-80, if you put in version 1.1, which I had the BIOS update for it, which it's called BIOS, but the update for that, it actually added those same
nice.
draw commands. And
Yeah,
stuff
that would
like
have been nice.
which was way better because the Commodore never. Well, they did in the 128, and it had that.
Right.
The 64 did not.
Right.
So yeah.
Further writes, C64 games nearly always ended up being machine code using a long list of pokes, basically. That's what the pokes were.
Or worse, yeah.
Odd the components.
Pokes and peaks.
Talking about the components being faster in the Atari, which is true. It says odd the components as the original Atari was released in 79 while the C64 was 82. However, Commodore did have the preceding VIC. That's true. But the Atari was clocked faster and was honestly more advanced architecture. Other than everybody being all hot and bothered over that SID chip on the Commodore. But
well, the SID chip did have some things that the Pokey wouldn't.
I still vote the Pokey sounds better. But.
It kind of depends. So it depends on which SID chip you got, too. And that's the other funny thing is
with
there
Atari,
was
it's
more
Pokey
than one.
or nothing.
I know.
I mean, that's what's nice.
Well,
but
I got two of them sitting over there. And it's just,
Pokey, man.
But
it's Pokemon.
What's
like
Pokey
both
short
of them.
for?
You
know what the Pokey is an acronym on the Atari.
Yeah, it is. It's
Potentiometer keyboard.
Yeah.
That's seriously what it's for.
Yeah.
Because it can
Because
handle
it
paddle
also
pods and it can handle it's the keyboard scan chip. It's a multi-function chip on the Atari, not just sound.
It had the AD. Well, so did because that's Commodore sort of did it later with a few other things, but it's my personal favorite for just the odd way it was made, but it actually worked pretty well, was probably the TRS-80 color computers. Because really when that came out, you had the Apple. I don't even think Atari was still I think, if I recall right, the TRS-80 beat the Atari out.
They did.
The original color computer. And it was...
they called the original... I've read it. They call it the 1977 trilogy. It's pretty funny. I think it was the PET.
Yeah,
and it was the TRS-80 Model 1 and the Apple II.
Apple II, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just really interesting the way that everyone took a different view as to what it should be made.
Yep.
And even later on, obviously the C64 and the Atari 800, XL, which I have one over there.
So those three computers came out in 77 that I just mentioned. The Atari 8-bit line started as what was supposed to be. They started development in 77, the same year those three.
No, when did he release it though?
79.
79. Okay,
yeah, that 400 were late 79.
Okay,
they were originally conceived as the next gen. Atari said, "Oh, we know we're going to need another video game system," and then somebody said, "Well, let's make it into a computer." After about a year,
which is obviously where the 400 came from, because it really
was the idea. It was originally just going to be another game console.
But when I was a kid, the 400. We always thought that was the cooler looking machine because it had. You're gonna love this because it had
get the arrows in my back, but I think the original 800 is hideous looking.
I like the XL. I like the XL.
The 800 XL is gorgeous. They fixed all their problems. So
the 400, I thought as a kid, I thought the 400 was actually freaking cool.
Not a bad looking box.
It really, because back in the day, we all thought well, my group anyway, all thought that the little membrane keys and membrane buttons were the coolest thing ever because it didn't look like a typewriter.
Oh, right, yeah.
So
It's funny how over time the mental concept is different, yeah.
But you see that joy for that concept come in, like, for example, the DX7, all the DX7 buttons are the same.
Yeah, it was very
keys.
popular in those days.
And everyone complains they didn't hold up, but honestly, if you didn't abuse them, they weren't.
Yeah, the problem is some people push on them too hard and damage them.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, and there's problems with them, but it's one of those things that I would say that concept was probably a fad.
Yeah,
but I still think the 400 compared to the 800, the 400 looked better.
Yeah.
For me personally.
Yeah.
That's just me. No one else.
They were shaped that way due to the RF shielding requirements FCC had until 1981. So, So, well, thanks for those comments.
Yeah,
Make sure to leave some comments below, and maybe you too will be featured in Echoes from the Asylum.
Yep.
Well, it's time for that closing segment that we use every week. Where is it, Justin? He's so good at this. So proud.
Hey.
Yeah, so proud.
Dude, welcome to the waves.
It's like art.
I don't know if it's art.
Oh,
Anyway,
man.
I'd make a very bad Hawaiian
segment of each episode where we welcome a new ham radio operator to the hobby of amateur radio, congratulating those who've passed their first ham radio license test or an upgrade. And this week we're going to, and this is a good call. What a great one to have issued. Kilo Echo 8, Sierra Whiskey Romeo, KE8SWR.
Oh, nice.
Stephen Reynolds of Harrisville, Ohio is a
one.
technician. And man, hold on to that one. You don't get calls like KE8SWR or KB9 SNL every day from the FCC.
So you get
without
like
asking.
KB9 GMU is what you get, like I did. Yeah.
So hope you enjoy it, man.
A friend of mine's N9 LOW.
Yeah?
Which that's pretty cool.
Hey,
Paul.
would be good.
LOL, I bet that's out there. Oh, man. So, yeah, thanks for taking that test, man. Jump right in there. Light up Ohio with some RF.
There you go. Yep.
I'm getting tired, y'all.
Maybe we'll run into you at a Hamfest or something.
Never know. That's close enough. Yeah. By the way, it seems like Dayton's on for next year so far.
I'm really hoping so.
They announced the day it is. They've put the dates on it. So unless they change their other mind. But
well,
when they come up with the Zulu variant or whatever. Anyway, moving on. Hey, thanks for watching this week. Hope you watch next week and don't unsub over my last comment there. Till next time, I'm Timmy.
I'm Justin.
I'm Nathan.
And this is Three Old Tech Dudes.
Have a good one.
God, I'm tired.
End audio synchronization.
Good job, boys. Thanks for hanging out with us here on Three Old Tech Dudes. Please subscribe to us here on YouTube for more tech old and new, tinkering at the workbench, repairs, ham radio, electronics, computers, and more. Please like this video and share 3OTD with your friends to help us grow the channel. We tweet at 3 Old Tech Dudes 1 on Twitter, and you can keep up with us on Facebook. Just search for 3OTD and look for our logo. Thanks so much for watching.